Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to the Whitehall City Council meeting of July 20th, 2021. If we would, let's please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Ogg, would you please call roll?
Coniston. Present. Cantor.
Present.
Heck.
Present.
Morrison.
Present.
Bailey.
Present.
Rodriguez.
Present.
Elmore.
Present.
President Potter.
Present. At this time, I'll accept a motion for the approval of the July 6th, 2021 agenda and regular meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second that, Mr. President.
Thank you. There's been a motion by Ms. Coniston, seconded by Mr. Cantor for the approval of the minutes. Is there any discussion? Ms. Ogg, please call roll.
Coniston. Yes. Cantor.
Yes.
Heck.
Yes.
Morrison.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Elmore.
Yes.
The minutes have been approved. At this time, we are coming upon our first poll public of the evening. I would invite anybody who would like to come forward and make comments to please state your name, address, and you'll have 3 minutes in which to...
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Jeff Fover, 466 Maplewood.
I'm sorry, Jeff, I didn't get your last name.
Pardon?
Your last name I didn't...
Jeff Fover, 466 Maplewood. I put down my thoughts in advance in an attempt to be concise and within your time constraints. My wife and I, registered voters, are both not in favor of a 4-story density-embracing behemoth of subsidized living being erected at the mouth of our relatively peaceful, nearly historic residential neighborhood for so many reasons. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but on my drives along Main Street through Bexley and Reynoldsburg, I don't recall seeing any massive subsidized apartment complexes erected front and center on Main for posterity's sake, replete with some given percentage of tenants who will hang outside wondering what to do for the day that would be profitable or exciting or both. I would ask Whitehall's elected to consider the legacies they leave and to consider the everlasting effects on our suburban lives of this pillar of density project, and then require that the city's economic arm broaden its visions for a betting mama in acquiring new owners for their properties. A bank desiring to build a branch or offices, a religious organization interested in erecting some community-serving facility, viable retail business, all while maintaining the 2 existing residential plots. I've seen home buyers revamp houses in my neighborhood in remarkably positive ways. But again, that harkens back to the city of pride thing, I know. I don't have the best answer in all this because I'm not charged with engaging the property owners or the potential buyers, nor am I proficient in community development. My development skills would find me still paying regularly to practice my golf game alongside many others at the driving range on East Broad, as opposed to seeing a field of weeds, a field of business park dreams. Has anyone given thought to the potential ramifications of youth and teen residents, hell, even adult residents of this proposed enclave on Main, meandering onto the blighted section of Main between Barnett and James for their social interactions? Whitehall's sewer and water infrastructure is antiquated, as discerned already by the city's elected. And residents living on the 3 wide West End streets already know, no disrespect to the police force, already know the city doesn't have the resources to confront and control speeders who will, day in and day out, run stop signs and pass 2 to 3 cars at a time there, a task that requires speeds of 50+ miles an hour to accomplish. Already Maplewood, since its recent paving, has needed to be cut open and patched back together around 20 times. Another 100+ families feeding some density-embracing beast doesn't seem logical unless in the current city management's eye, the sky's the limit for future water and sewer surcharges for we homeowners. If you can't say no to an enclave, look up that word's origin, by the way, consider building it north of Maplewood, where Kroger backed away from development. There's ample space there to add the enclave bar and grill, a Dora zone, city-sponsored social get-together events, and more for the enclavians. If enclave residents would get all happy and loud up there, our aforementioned residential, relatively peaceful, nearly historic neighborhood would be none the worse for wear. And I'd like to close real quick by reading an excerpt from...
Sir, you're about a minute over your 3 minutes, so it's going to be very quick, but
Yeah.
if it's a long passage, we'll need to pass.
An excerpt from Shakespeare's play, All's Well That Ends Well, Act 3, Scene 3. No legacy is so rich as honesty, unquote. Thanks for allowing me.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wishes to come forward? We'll now move to our standing committee reports. Administration and Financial Management, Chairperson Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration and Financial Management did meet last Tuesday. Our minutes are on file, and we have a number of items to be introduced tonight. We will meet again next Tuesday at 6:31. I think right here.
You're sure about that?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Thank you. Community and Elder Advocacy, Chairperson Elmore.
Thank you, Mr. President. Community and Elder Advocacy met last week in my absence. Thanks for who covered that for me. And the minutes are on file. We will meet again on Tuesday at 6:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Community Standards and Enforcement, Chairperson Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Community Standards and Enforcement met last Tuesday, and minutes are on file. This evening, we've got Ordinance 55 and Resolution 17, which we'll be bringing forth, requesting favorable consideration on those two. We'll meet again next Tuesday, sometime after 6:30.
Thank you. Economic Development, Chairperson Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Economic Development also met last week. Our minutes are on file, and we have 3 ordinances up for consideration this evening.
Thank you. Infrastructure, Maintenance, and Services, Chairperson Heck.
Thank you, Mr. President. Infrastructure, Maintenance, and Services met last Tuesday. Our minutes are on file. We have one piece of legislation in first reading, being read by title only. We will meet again next Tuesday, sometime around 6:30.
Very good. Public Safety, Chairperson Coniston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Safety also met last week. Our minutes are on file, and we'll meet again next week. I don't know, maybe around 6:34.
Okay, very good. Look forward to it. Parks and Recreation, Chairperson Cantor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Parks and Recreation also met last week, and our minutes are on file. We'll meet again next week right here after 6:30.
Very good. Officials reports, Mayor Kim Magner.
Good evening, everyone. I would ask Council's favorable consideration of Ordinance 64 on the first reading. Also, I would just like to let you all know that Police Chief Crispin will be giving a press conference tomorrow around 10 a.m. in partnership with the Columbus Police regarding the speeding ATVs that have been going through Columbus and the suburbs. I think pretty much all suburbs have been inundated with speeding ATVs, and so I just wanted to give you an update. I think that they may have a plan on how to attack that. Thank you.
Terrific. City Attorney Michael Bibbs.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. From the City Attorney's Office, we're pleased to announce that we have been able to find and select a candidate to replace Kristen Lippert as our paralegal. Her name is Rachel Boyce. She has just passed her first round of background checks, and everything looks pretty good. So it looks like we're going to try to onboard her within the next week or so. So once we get her trained and get her acclimated to the City Attorney's Office, I certainly will have her come here so that council can meet her and maybe ask her some relevant questions. She does come from the City of Columbus, very well trained, just an amazing candidate. I'm really pleased with, it was a collaborative effort from the city attorney's office. We all had our input on bringing in a new person, so I'm really happy to announce we found one person. Interesting enough, so that the city knows, when we put out the notice to replace Kristen Lippert, I was only expecting a few applications. We ended up getting over 50 applications for that position. There were a lot of individuals that were interested in wanting to come work for the city of Whitehall, and we interviewed quite a few candidates. Whitehall's reputation is phenomenal, and there were a lot of people that wanted to come and work for the city of Whitehall because of its reputation of being the city of opportunity and the city that is kind of the up-and-coming place to be. So I was really pleased to go through that process. Next, mark your calendars for August the 14th, 2021. It is the African American Male Wellness Walk. As you saw, there were some flyers that were put out with my face on it. I am the ambassador for Whitehall to promote that event. It's not just for African Americans, it's for all persons. So mark your calendars for August the 14th, 2020 at 9 o'clock, 9:30. The lineup begins at like 9 o'clock, 9:30. It's a festive, great event. It starts right over at 760 East Livingston Avenue, right in front of Children's Hospital, and it is just a great event. You'll be able to meet your neighbors, you'll be able to meet new people, and there'll be thousands of people out there that's walking for the sole purpose of the promotion of the health of African American men who, unfortunately, throughout all kind of bad statistics, rate the highest in diabetes, the highest in high blood pressure, the highest in chronic heart disease in African American men, and this is an event to promote the wellness and the health of those individuals. Thankfully, I'm one of those African American men that don't have any of those issues because I run a sub 24 3 miles because I'm dedicated to fitness. But I am pleased to be an ambassador for the city of Whitehall, and I invite each and every one of you to come out, as well as any persons that are streaming and watching. Come out and celebrate and support this great and worthy cause.
That's great. Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
How long of a walk is
It's a great
it?
event.
Say again?
How long of a walk is it?
I want to say it's 5K.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially for you. Yeah. You can run that backwards blindfolded.
Mr. President, I'm sure I speak for the whole days up here that want to wish Michael a belated 50th birthday
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
as of
Thank
last Saturday.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Very nice. City Attorney, or City Auditor, Dan Miller.
You're not the first person to admit that. I have no official report other than what you have in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Our Director of Development and Public Service is not with us this evening, nor is our Director of Public Safety, but we do have our Treasurer, Steve Quinzel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no official report tonight. However, I would like to take a moment to recognize our friends over at King Heroes, Chaltius and the crew, celebrating 30 years in Whitehall this week.
Thank you. The following official reports have been filed in the council office since our last meeting, and that would include the auditor's expense report for June 2021, the auditor's bank report for June 2021, the auditor's statement of cash position report for June 2021, and the auditor's revenue report for June 2021. Under communications, petitions, and claims, there have been no communications, petitions, or claims filed in the council office since our last meeting. Ms. Aug, would you please call roll as to whether each member of the council was given a copy of each item of legislation listed on the agenda prior to the meeting and including any add-on legislation?
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Heck,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Elmore.
Yes.
Thank you. Under third reading, we have 4 items this evening. First item is Ordinance 55-2021, an ordinance establishing certain code violations as payable citations not requiring a personal appearance in court.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 55-2021, move for its adoption.
Second.
Ordinance 55, 2021 has been introduced by Mr. Rodriguez and seconded by Mr. Cantor. For adoption, is there any discussion on the motion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 55, 2021 has been adopted. Ordinance 56, 2021, amending ordinance number 49, 2011 to update the tax exemptions available within the East Broad Street District Community Reinvestment Area.
Mr. President, wish to move to introduce ordinance 56, 2021 and move for the adoption.
Second.
Ordinance 56, 2021 has been introduced by Mr. Morrison, seconded by Ms. Heck, with the motion for adoption. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 56, 2021 has been adopted. Ordinance 57, 2021, amending ordinance 51, 2011 to update the tax exemptions available within the Main Street Community Reinvestment Area.
Mr. President, I wish to introduce ordinance 57, 2021 and move for the adoption.
Second?
Mr. Morrison, with a second by Ms. Coniston, has introduced ordinance 57, 2021, moving for its adoption. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 57, 2021 has been adopted. Ordinance 58, 2021, amending ordinance number 48, 2011 to update the tax exemptions available within the Town Square District Community Reinvestment Area.
Mr. President, wish to introduce ordinance 58, 2021 and move for the adoption.
Second.
Ordinance 58, 2021 has been introduced by Mr. Morrison, seconded by Ms. Elmore, with the express interest in its adoption. Is there any discussion on the ordinance? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 58, 2021 has been adopted. Under second reading, we have one item this evening. Resolution 17, 2021, levying special assessments for property maintenance at several locations in the city of Whitehall, Ohio, addresses and parcel numbers as provided within the text of this resolution, certifying such costs to Franklin County Auditor to be assessed against such property and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce Resolution 17, 2021, move with the suspension of all rules.
Second.
Mr. Rodriguez has introduced Resolution 17, 2021, with a second by Mr. Cantor, requesting suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
A motion to adopt by Mr. Rodriguez, seconded by Mr. Cantor. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Resolution 17, 2021 has been adopted. Under first reading, we have several items. First one being ordinance 61, 2021, which will be read by title only. An ordinance to amend Chapter 913, sanitary regulations, as it contained in the Title I, Streets and Utilities of Part 9, Streets and Public Services Code of the Codified Ordinance of the City of Whitehall, Ohio, and by creating a sewer and water surcharge for the users of each utility and declaring an emergency. Again, that's by title only. Ordinance 62, 2021 will also be read by title only, authorizing the creation of the Water Utility Fund 841, appropriating $200,000 from unappropriated monies in the Water Utility Fund 841 to the Water Utility Expense Account 841.000.50,000 and declaring an emergency. Next is Ordinance 63, 2021. This too will be read by title only, authorizing the creation of the Sewer Utility Fund 840, appropriating $200,000 from unappropriated monies in the Sewer Utility Fund 840 to the Sewer Utility Expense Account 840.000.50,000 and declaring an emergency. This now brings us to Ordinance 64, 2021, authorizing and approving an appropriation transfer in the amount of $28,000 from appropriate monies into 101.700.51,500 staff PT expense account to the administrative assistant expense account 101.700.51,550 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 64, 2021, and move for suspension of rules.
Second?
Mr. Bailey has introduced ordinance 64, 2021, second by Mr. Cantor, requesting suspension of all rules. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second?
Motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Cantor. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 64, 2021 has been adopted. Ordinance 65, 2021, approving and making appropriation in the amount of $40,000 from Community Development Trust Fund 550 to various expense accounts in the Community Development Trust Fund and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 65, 2021, move for suspension of all rules.
Second?
There's been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Rodriguez to introduce ordinance 65, 2021 and move for the suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second?
There's been a motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Rodriguez. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 65, 2021 has been adopted. Ordinance 66, 2021, making and approving a fund transfer in the amount of $5,000 from unappropriated monies in the General Fund 101 to the Street Maintenance and Repair Fund 201, making a supplemental appropriation of $5,000 from the Street Maintenance and Repair Fund 201 to the Signals Signs Expense Account 201.000.53,500 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 66, 2021, and move for suspension of all rules.
Second.
Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Heck, has introduced ordinance 66, 2021 with a request to suspend all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, seconded by Ms. Heck. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 66, 2021 has been adopted. Ordinance 67, 2021, approving and making a supplemental appropriation of $5,000 from the General Fund 101 to the Fire Hydrant Expense Account 101.000.53,600 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 67, 2021, move for suspension of all rules.
Second.
And there's been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Morrison, to introduce ordinance 67, 2021 and for the suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll move to adopt.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Morrison. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Elmore?
Yes.
Ordinance 67, 2021 has been adopted. Our last piece of legislation this evening is Resolution 18, 2021, resolving to approve then and now certificates and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce Resolution 18, 2021, and move for suspension of all rules.
Second?
Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Coniston, has introduced Resolution 18, 2021, and moved for the suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Peck,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Elmore.
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second?
Motion to adopt made by Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Coniston. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Peck,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Elmore.
Yes.
Resolution 18, 2021 has been adopted. This now brings us to our second poll public of the evening. And again, any folks wishing to come forward, you need to state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. And it's, if any folks come back up to speak again, it's got to be on a different subject, not the original subject they may have already spoken on.
Jeff Dober, 466 Maplewood Avenue. I'm a little late to be making noise on this noise and way too early on the next round, but over the recent 4th of July, there were like 16 hours that I had fireworks that I would say were at the minimum of at least once every 5 minutes. And the whole thing with fireworks, to tell a consumer or a resident of some place you can set off consumer grade fireworks is like, it's like telling a little kid you can get in the cookie jar, but you can't have the Oreos, you can only have the sugar frees. What I'm hearing weren't commercial grade or weren't residential grade fireworks. And so my point is, I would encourage the city for next year, and it won't put fear into everyone, to maybe try to establish hours. I mean, fortunately, the governor vetoed the bill allowing 7 holidays for fireworks over the course of a 3-day period. He just vetoed that on the 10th, thank God. But, you know, to maybe for next year, think of setting some hours that maybe someone would at least follow. Because, I mean, my wife was in the hospital, I was a little stressed, had to get up early in the morning, went and slept in the basement, could still hear my windows vibrate. It wasn't all Whitehall, some of it was east of me, but some was in Whitehall, 3 doors up from me, that this guy set fireworks off over like a 3-week period, leading up to and after. So I would encourage the city to maybe try to put out in front of the residents some kind of hours or days or whatever for 4th of July. To do fireworks. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to come forward? Okay. At this time, we'll move on to Community Day Board. Does anybody have anything for Community Day Board?
Well, sure.
What you got, Lori?
That's why we're looking at you.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday, July 31st, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. is the Food Truck Festival. I'm looking forward to that. Check it. Congrats to the, Thursday, July the 29th at 6:30, Council Chambers, Water and Sewer Utility Surcharge. Learn more about the analysis, proposed surcharges, and the facts. August the 3rd, Nationals Night Out at John Bishop Park from 5 to 8. July the 21st is the virtual-only community backyard workshop. The summer reading program is still going on until July the 31st. Walk-in recovery on multiple locations from 12 noon to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And we still have Market on the Green every Tuesday at Kelly Green from 4 to 6:30.
And that goes through August?
August 31st is the last one.
Right before Labor Day.
Terrific.
And this Sunday is Music at the Park.
Yes.
At 6:30. There's also, kids can still get free meals at Etna, right outside Etna from 11:30 to 12:30 Monday through Friday. Yoga, that was the other thing. There is yoga's going on the Green at 9 o'clock.
Anything?
Yeah, sorry, Saturdays.
Anything else? Really, Karen? Okay.
I'm holding off on the whole Halloween thing.
Nothing on Easter yet?
I know you're all waiting.
All right, we're a patient lot.
Lunch with Santa?
So at this time, we'll now poll council.
Oh.
Ms. Coniston.
Well, thank you. I forgot I was first. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Jeff, for coming up and speaking. so nice to see a couple familiar faces and some new faces that came to see us, and that's always nice, and we need more people to come. So thank you all for viewing in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Mr. Cantor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks, everybody, for viewing, and thanks, everybody, for coming in. Jeff, Mr. Colburn, I thank you very much for your comments, especially on those fireworks. Those were more than what you buy over the counter. I know what you're talking
It was
about.
till 3 a.m.
Oh, I fully understand that. So, Mayor, welcome back.
Thank you.
Happy belated, Mr. Bivens.
Thank you.
Happy belated. So that's all I have. Gotta go see you soon, girls. I love you.
Thank you. Ms. Heck.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everybody that's watching from home, and thank you to the people that came in today. Thank you, Jeff, for getting up and speaking. I hope to see many of you guys at the upcoming events that we have. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. Jeff, thanks for your input, and thank everyone for watching. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm pretty much a ditto on what everybody said, but I would like to thank all of you for coming tonight. And Jeff, thank you for your comments. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez.
I too am a ditto. Nice to see some new faces. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate your comments, Jeff. And folks watching as well. So, you know what, though, I did want to mention one other thing, though. You know me, I'm always buy Whitehall whenever you can. I was gassing up earlier, and it was so nice. Vicki and Tim, both, you know, they were up by the office. They came out, talked to me for a little bit. It's just so nice to have that interaction. You know, it's nice to buy from those who you know, and those who always give back to the community as well. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Elmore.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for those that have told public. Thank you for those that came out today. Also want to congratulate the Whitehall Youth Police Academy graduates. We're proud of you. And also to encourage everybody to really attend the August 14th African American Wellness Walk. I've attended a couple times. It is a great event. And you get as many checks as you want to, and I think we all need to make sure that we are in good health. I want to thank everybody for just being present, and also want to say of my final birthdays, the city attorney, and also Nicole. She just had a birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. That's all I have.
Thank you. I too would like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues. Thank everyone for coming out. Mr. Colburn, thank you for coming up and sharing those two different subjects with us. And just wish everybody a good, happy, safe week. And that's all I've got.
Mr. President,
Second.
move to adopt.
I want to wish those that are celebrating a happy Eid.
What?
Happy Eid.
Happy Eid, okay.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Rodriguez to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Heck,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Elmore.
Yes.
We are adjourned.